Welcome to the Milling Laboratory at the University of Copenhagen. My name is Marie Tron and I'm a PhD graduate from here. And in this video I'm going to introduce you to how to use the milling shaking machine. First off, when you're in this laboratory you need to wear some safety equipment that includes hearing protection, eye protection, a dust mask. Preferably when you're handling your samples you also want to wear gloves to prevent cross-contamination and grease from getting into the agate mills. And I also recommend to grab one of the cloaks just to protect your clothes from a lot of the rock dust in this room. Alright, let's take a look at the machine. So the machine itself, first we need to turn it on and then I'll go through some of the different settings that are important when you're using the machine. First off, you have to make sure that the machine is turned on here at the wall, otherwise it won't be able to turn on it at all. And then we just turn the red button to turn on the machine. You'll hear a small popping sound. That's just because the machine has pressurized air and it's just a little overpressure valve. That's perfectly normal. The machine itself has two speed settings. That's these two. This is a slow speed and this is a high speed. You always want to use the slow speed for the agate mill, and you can use the high speed for the from carbide mill. Generally, we only use agate mills here, so always keep this at the low speed setting. Then you can adjust the time period over here by going up or down. And as long as you don't turn the machine off, it saves the time for the next round. To turn the machine on itself, we would be using these buttons over here. So pressing this will turn it on and turning this will turn it off. Before we do that, let's have a look inside of the machine. Inside the machine, you see this arm. It's an automatic arm that's controlled by hydraulics, and it automatically comes down and holds the sample holder in place. So for example, one of our small sample holders is this agate mill you see right here. And then once we turn the machine on, this lever is going to come down and push onto the top and hold the sample in place. Therefore, it's also super important that you pay attention to these rods here. If they're like this, then the sample can't close properly. So for some of the mills, make sure that it's turned so the sample arm can hold them in place. Close down the machine. I'm just going to turn it on quickly. Hear that sound? That was the sample arm going down and actually holding the sample in place. And we're going to hear the same sound in a second once the arm releases. And sometimes it takes a little while, so you just have to be patient. And there we go. And now the sample arm is up again. For the exact procedure for which sample mill you should use and how you should load your sample, how you should clean the mill afterwards, you should always ask your supervisor or the laboratory responsible, because that's going to depend on what type of sample you have. For my rocks, which are volcanic samples, I found a time between 5 minutes and 20 minutes were usually fitting. But yeah, always ask your supervisor or laboratory responsible about that. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers!